Hey everyone, this is Michael with the Arkansas Off-Road Adventures, and today we are by a creek, which will play an important role in what I'm going to talk about today. But today I want to talk a little bit about severe weather and camping, and what kind of things that we experience here in the Ozarks when it comes down to camping and the weather. We have a lot of severe weather here in the Ozarks in the springtime. We have a lot of flooding, we have a lot of lightning, we have tornadoes, we have hail, we have everything when it comes to winter and the summertime. Or the springtime, should I say. Sorry, trying to speed it up. But anyway, talking a little bit about severe weather and camping and what you should do if you get caught in a severe thunderstorm. And what I want to talk a little bit about are really two things that are very dangerous here. We do have tornadoes here in the Ozarks, no doubt about that. But two big major things that I want to talk a little bit about today, and that is flooding and lightning. Lightning is a killer, flooding is a killer. Both of them can be very unpredictable on what will happen. So today I want to talk a little bit about some of the safety things that you need to remember that if you are here in the Ozarks, on what you need to know. And first thing I want to talk about a little bit is lightning. Lightning, no doubt, is very dangerous. It's electricity generated by thunderstorms. And a lot of times when we're out, say we're going to be out going camping, one of the things we really want to do is be weather aware. Be aware of what the weather conditions are supposed to be, because they're always changing. And so what I recommend to you, that if you have a CB, walkie-talkie, whatever you use when you're out in your rig, out on your Jeep, your truck, whatever you're out in, trail riding or whatever, camping, know how to get one that has the NOAA weather radio on it. That way, in case you are out in the middle of nowhere, a lot of times you can still get reception from these NOAA weather radio towers and kind of get an idea of what the weather is going to be for that night, or actually in the event that a thunderstorm is actually occurring, and kind of get an update on what kind of conditions are going to, how the conditions are going to be. And so, lightning. What do you do if you get caught in a lightning storm? Now, a lot of times here in the Ozarks, everybody knows, or camping anywhere, you can get caught up in a thunderstorm that generates some incredible amounts of lightning. Sometimes it can get pretty scary. But let's say you're inside of your tent. It blows up a thunderstorm, you wake up, it's coming a lightning storm. What do you need to do to protect yourself? The number one killing thing with lightning is what is called ground current. And that is where lightning will actually strike the tree, go down the tree, and goes into the ground. And that is what we call ground current. So if you're, some of the old myths was, if you're out in a field and it's lightning, be the lowest object, lay to the ground. Don't do that, okay? I'll explain why. Because ground current, as lightning goes through the tree, through the ground, it distributes voltage, and the voltage changes as it goes out. Now, what do you want to do to prevent a change in the voltage? Okay, number one example, we've seen it before, cattle. It comes a thunderstorm, it starts raining, the cows run to the oak tree, they try to get out of the weather because that's the only place they can get. Next thing you know, lightning strikes the tree, it kills them all. Why does that happen? Well, because the front legs are at a different position than the back legs, therefore you have a difference in voltage in the ground current from the lightning. So, what you want to do in the event of a lightning storm, if you're in a tent, sit on your butt, draw your knees up to you, put your arms around your knees, and sit there. I know that's probably not going to be very comfortable, but that is one thing that you can do inside of a tent. You want to bring your body parts as close to you as you possibly can. Now, let's say you're outside, blows up a thunderstorm. There's no place to go. I'm not near my vehicle. I'm not near some kind of shelter I can get to, and I'm stuck there. What do I need to do? The best thing that you can try to do is keep your feet next to each other. Why? Because now you're bringing that ground current level to a constant voltage instead of like out there with your legs separated, just standing there, because that will create a difference in voltage between the two. So you want to try to keep that current as equal or as close as you possibly can without it being a difference. So let's say 800 watts or whatever is going through the ground or whatever like that. Keep your feet together, and that is about what the voltage is going to stay. Why? Because that's how close you are to yourself. So let's say a cow, 600 at his back legs and 800 at his front legs. There's a difference. That's going to cause a problem. The voltage will come through. It'll kill you. And so that's just an example of why it's important to keep yourself as close as you can to your body without being separated. Now, of course, getting inside of a vehicle is a good thing, especially one that is completely, a complete metal car. I know you think, well, why would you want to get inside of a metal car? Well, here's the deal. Get inside of that car, keep your hands in your lap, don't touch nothing inside. Now, I know the chances of getting hit by lightning is very slim, but it happens. No doubt it happens, and it can kill you. So keep your hands together away in your lap. That way you're not touching the steering wheel or anything else, and sit there, if you're able to do that. Now, my Jeep has a hard top on it, so it's not metal. And so it's not going to exactly give you the best protection in the world because it's not a solid metal vehicle. So that could be a problem. But if it's all you got, it's all you got. It's better than nothing. And so that's one thing we need to remember. Always try to keep your body as close as you can to yourself in the event that there is lightning. Now, number two, the reason why I'm here by this river flooded about 2 days ago. And there's a story behind all this, what happened. Here at our place where I'm at right now, it barely rained over 1/10 of an inch of rain. Not very much. This river was the creek was down really low. This is what we call Big Creek. A lot of the locals, y'all know where this is. But back up toward Lurton, way up from us, back up this valley, they had like 5.5 to 6.5 inches of rain the other night, 2 nights ago. And so this caused flooding to happen way, way upstream. So let's say you were down here, camped out on this gravel bar. It didn't storm that bad. It didn't really rain that much. Probably not even going to be a big deal, but it's going to be a big deal. Why? Because upstream, it comes several inches of rain and it has no place to go but come downstream. And so if you were down here camped on this gravel bar when that happened, there's a good bet you would have gotten washed away because it come a major flood down through here. So basically from Carver on the Buffalo National River, downstream, it flooded. Now, upstream from Carver, nothing. Looked perfectly normal, not no big deal. But it was a big deal from Carver down because it came a huge flood. And so several of the local creeks here that go up that way, back up toward Lartnet area, flooded. Richland Creek flooded, Cave Creek flooded. And some people may come out down there and thought, why is it flooded? It never rained that much. But that is the dangers in the Ozarks, especially down on Big Piney Creek, down at Fort Douglas. Big Piney is prone to flood. The Buffalo River is prone to flood because of all the heavy rain. You got the Big Boxley Valley, all the way up through there. All that rain comes off, hits the head of that river and comes down. And that's one thing I want to talk about. Know where the head of that stream comes from, because the head of Big Creek goes back up, we know, this way, and it actually goes up here so far and it forks and goes in different directions. But know how the body of water that you're camping next to runs. Where does it come from? Where is the head of that stream coming from? That way, if you are camping and you look, and I look back up that way, and I see a lot of lightning and thunder, and it's been going on for a while, but it's not been that bad here, but I know there's a big storm over there dumping some rain because it's been doing it for a while. I need to automatically think, hey, flash flood. It could flood. So that's when you need to begin to be aware of what's going on. And that's where the weather radio can come in, because you see that like, okay, I ain't got no internet, but I've got this weather radio and I can listen to this broadcast to find out what's going on. That way, it may come on there and say there's a flash flood warning for such and such area. Know the area that you're going to be in. That way, that when you hear those broadcasts, you know what's going to be going on in your area. If you hear something in a local area there that you know gets mentioned in that broadcast, that, hey, I need to pay attention, or I need to back up and not be camping on this gravel bar. And so a lot of times we like to camp on the gravel bar. We love being next to the water. That's the way us nature people are. We love the sound of water. But we need to be weather aware that flooding can occur. And in the Ozarks, it does happen. It's a really big deal here. So really need to pay attention to the flooding part if you're camping in the Ozarks or anywhere that you're at. I don't care if you're down in the Quetzalcoatl Mountain Range or wherever down in there. You know, they've had flooding down there. It happened before. It killed a bunch of people, caught them off guard, big flash flood. Just be aware of your surroundings. Know where you are at. know of any local towns that's close to the area you're going to be camping. That way, if that happens, that you are able to know where you're at. So that's one of the big things I want to talk to. The big things that I really wanted to talk about today is, in the event of a severe thunderstorm, lightning comes in, it gets intense. Remember, keep your body as close to itself as you can. If you're in a tent, sit on your butt, draw your knees up, put your arms around your knees, and sit there. You know, at the best that you can. That is one of the greatest protections that you're going to have when you have nowhere else to go. If you're stuck outside, you have no place to go, you get caught up in a bad thunderstorm, keep them feet butted together. Why? Because that reduces the ground current voltage change. You're keeping it the same. You don't want to separate. So that's what we want to do. In the event of flooding, again, be weather aware. Have a weather radio if all possible with your CB or your walkie-talkie, whatever, your GMRS radio. Have that. That way, a lot of those will have a NOAA weather radio programming on them. Know how to use it. You can scan those channels, find the best broadcast that you can find, and listen to it. And that way, you'll know that if something may be happening, that you need to do something different on your camping spot, if you have to move your camp back up or whatever like that, or whatever you need to do. Now, I know sometimes when I go, I don't actually camp just right on a gravel bar, but I have went out and drove a stick on the edge of the water line and watched that stick through the night if I noticed there's been a lot of storming, a lot more going on upstream than normal. And watch that, you know, maybe every hour or so, I'll shine my light and look at it. And if I notice it's coming up, then I need to think, okay, what do I need to do in the event that this river's fixing to flood? I need to start backing my stuff up, or even if I have to, pack it up and move, get back away. But you need to be weather aware in the event that we ever have any flooding or anything like that's going on when you're out camping and stuff. That way, you're not becoming part of the, what I want to say, part of the statistic of death of flash flood or the statistic of death of lightning. Because ground current lightning is the #1 killer of lightning. It's the ground current that comes out. And we don't think about that. But that lightning, when it goes in the ground, it's distributed into the ground and it goes out. So if you're standing too close to the strike area, it's going to get you. And so try to do what you can to prevent that from happening. And that's why I wanted to put this video out today. Hopefully nothing happens to nobody. And the chances of getting hit by lightning is slim. Flash flooding is a real threat. Lightning strike killing you is a threat. But so let's remember that. Always be weather aware to your surroundings. Always know where the head of the stream is that you're camping by in case there is rain focused up in the head of that water tributary area. So, and definitely be weather aware of that, and also of your locations and things like that. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. This has been Michael with the Arkansas Off-Road Adventures. And until next time, happy trails.